They put a human boy in a class full of alien girls. But one of them couldn't stop staring Marcus' chin, adjusted his tablet for the third time in 10 minutes, acutely aware of the dozens of alien eyes tracking his every movement. The Galactic Educational Exchange Program had seemed like an incredible opportunity when he applied 6 months ago on Earth. Now, sitting in advanced xenobiology at the prestigious Kepler Station Academy, he wondered if he'd made a terrible mistake. Classroom buzz with whispered conversations in languages his universal translator could barely parse. Delicate Etherian girls with gossamer wings fluttered nervously when he looked their way. The towering Krathan females, built like living mountains of crystal, regarded him with what he hoped was curiosity rather than hunger. Most unsettling of all were the void dancers, pale, elongated beings whose obsidian eyes seemed to peer directly into his soul. "Welcome, students, to Applied Xenobiology," Professor Vekhai announced, her serpentine form coiling around the holographic display. "Today we'll be examining biological adaptation across species. I trust you'll all make our human exchange student feel welcome." Marcus felt his cheeks burn as every head turned toward him. He offered a weak wave, which prompted a series of strange chirps, clicks, and harmonious tones he assumed were alien laughter. But one student wasn't laughing. In the third row, a voiling girl with silver-streaked hair stared at him with an intensity that made his skin crawl. Unlike her sisters, who possessed the typical elongated limbs and ethereal grace of their species, this one seemed more solid, more present. When their eyes met, she didn't look away like the others. Instead, she tilted her head slightly, studying him like a fascinating specimen. "Mr. Chun," Professor Vekhai's voice cut through his discomfort, "perhaps you could share your species' approach to environmental adaptation?" Marcus cleared his throat. "Well, humans are pretty adaptable. We don't have specialized organs like gills or radiation-resistant skin, but we're really good at making tools and working together to solve problems." A Krathan girl's crystal formation pulsed with what Marcus had learned was amusement. Tools? How primitive! Actually, the staring voidling spoke for the first time, her voice carrying an odd harmonic quality. Tool creation demonstrates remarkable cognitive flexibility. Most species adapt through biological evolution over millennia. Humans adapt through innovation within single generations. Marcus blinked in surprise. Someone was actually defending him. "Zephyra raises an interesting point," Professor Vekhai mused. "Continue." The voiling Zephyra stood gracefully. "Humans landed on their moon using technology invented within their own lifetime. They survived ice ages, climate changes, and mass extinctions not through biological adaptation, but through behavioral flexibility. It's remarkable." The classroom fell silent. Even Professor Vekhai seemed taken aback by the passionate defense. After class, Marcus gathered his things slowly, hoping to avoid the usual gauntlet of alien girls giggling and whispering as he passed. But Zephyra approached him directly, her movements fluid and purposeful. "Marcus Chun," she said, and hearing his name in her strange, musical voice sent an unexpected shiver through him. "I'm Zephyra Knox High. I wanted to apologize for my classmates' behavior." "You don't need to apologize for them," Marcus replied, surprised by her directness. "But thanks for backing me up in there. That was unexpected." Zephyra's large, dark eyes studied his face intently. "Your species fascinates me. We voilings live for centuries, yet we change so little. You humans live such brief lives, but you're constantly growing, constantly becoming something new. How do you bear the weight of such endless possibility?" Marcus had never thought of human mortality in quite those terms. "I guess we don't really have a choice. We know our time is limited, so we try to make it count." "Yes," Zephyra whispered, moving closer. "You burn so brightly because you burn so briefly, like stars going supernova." Over the following weeks, Zephyra's staring continued, but Marcus began to understand it differently. She wasn't studying Hidden like a lab specimen, she was trying to comprehend something fundamentally alien to her own experience. During group projects, she always maneuvered to be his partner. In the dining hall, she'd appear at his table with her barely touched meal, asking endless questions about human culture, human dreams, human fears. Why do humans create art? She asked one evening as they worked on a joint presentation about symbiotic relationships. Because we have to, Marcus answered without thinking. We live these short, complicated lives full of feelings we can barely understand, and art helps us. Share that experience with others, makes us feel less alone. Zephyra was quiet for a long moment. My people live in mental harmony. We rarely feel alone. But we also rarely feel anything. We exist. We endure, but we don't truly live, do. We? Marcus really looked at her for the first time. Beneath the alien features, he saw something achingly familiar, longing. You're living right now, he said softly. Asking questions, feeling curious, caring about answers. That's what life is. Their presentation on human-alien symbiosis earned the highest marks in the class. But more importantly, Marcus realized that Zephyra had stopped staring at him. Instead, she had started seeing him. On their last day together before the term break, Zephyra gave him a small crystal pendant that pulsed with soft light. A piece of my homeworld, she explained. It will burn for approximately 50 of your years before dimming. I thought you might appreciate something that burns as brightly as you do. Marcus held the crystal carefully, feeling its warm pulse against his palm. Zephyra, why were you always staring at me? She smiled, the first truly human expression he'd seen from her. I was trying to understand what hope looked like. Now I know. As Marcus prepared to return to Earth for the break, he realized that the Galactic Educational Exchange Program had succeeded beyond anyone's expectations. He hadn't just learned about alien biology. He'd learned that the essence of humanity, the thing that made them remarkable in a galaxy full of ancient and powerful species, wasn't their tools or their adaptability. It was their ability to inspire others to hope, to dream, to live rather than merely exist. Even across the vast differences of species and biology, that spark could ignite something beautiful. The human boy had indeed changed a classroom full of alien girls. But perhaps more importantly, they had changed him too.